Hello, good morning. It's Sadhana. I am back with part two of my Anna Kay delivery, and this is only my second unboxing video. So yeah, I I really enjoy all of your unboxing videos, and I know this is not a new deck for a lot of you, but if it is, you can enjoy the this process with me. So I did the unboxing of the Lenormand a couple of days ago from Anna, and I'm just loving it. And so here is my, I'm just going to pause the video. So this is the self-published version of the deck, and I could have ordered this deck through mass marketing, but I didn't. I chose to order her tarot deck and her Lenormand at the same time from her website. So they came from Germany, and they took almost a month to get here to the west coast of Canada, but so worth the wait. So this is the box for the lovely Anna Kay Tarot, self-published. And I actually, it's been a while since I watched a video of these cards, so I'm not sure what the mass marketing box looks like. I'll have to look back to some videos. So similar guidebook to the format for the Anna Kay Lenormand, so pamphlet style. And I'm going to grab my glasses. Okay. So just checking English, or this is the English version. It has 79 pages, 78 pages. And just really quick glance at the guidebook. So a little bit about tarot, a little bit about the deck, some instructions for reading, tips for practice, and then going through the cards. She's got a bit on spreads, experimental readings, and bibliography. So let's just skip to the section about this deck. So Anna says that her cards are kept quite close to the symbolism of the traditional depictions, but where I wanted to, I highlighted certain aspects of the cards' meanings more than traditional depictions. Of course, with these cards, the descriptions of their meanings as given on the following pages will also deviate a bit from conventional ones. It's important to accept that there are no true or wrong interpretations of the cards, so mine are just meant as a support, as a starting point. So let's just have a look at the descriptions for the major arcana. So the descriptions are quite brief. So you've got about half a page. And then for the minors, it's the same. So here is the page for the cups. The first cups. So interesting. There's some really cool readings at the back. So that's going to be a fun guidebook to go through. Okay, so just like the Lenormand, the box, the deck is broken into two pieces. And so we'll break both those open and have a look at the cards. Oh, lovely. The backs are just beautiful. So this is also the first time that I've filmed at home, so the light is much nicer here than at the store. And there we go. All right. So this is the back of the deck. So they are reversible. Tree. I don't know if you can see. It's a tree with a moon in the circle. All right. So the Fool. So I'll go through the major arcana and then a few cards for each of the suits. These cards are quite thick. Really nice card stock. The High Priestess. The Voluptuous Empress. The Emperor. High Priest. So this is an almost borderless deck, very thin border. One of the comments about this deck that I really liked was that all of the people were not beautiful people. This is one of the problems I have with some of the decks, is that the Empress does not really look like an Empress. She's way, way too young. This is a lovely Hermit card. Let's put the cards over here. I really like the Cave. This Wheel of Fortune is awesome, and have a look in the background of this Wheel of Fortune and look at the Wise One in the shadow. Okay, and then we have the Ace of Cups. So just a second here. I'm just going to pause. I'm just going to find. All right, we're back. Strength. Oh my goodness, poor Hangman. He's in the rain. Death. Temperance. I quite like this card. The Balance. And does she have one foot in the water? No, she has both feet on land. But is she standing right next to the water? Okay, so this is a great devil card. Debauchery. Addiction. Gluttony. The Tower. The Star. I really like the simplicity of the Sun and the Moon card. Judgment. And the World. She did comment that her World card was quite different. So the phases of the moon and the tree. No naked woman dancing in the World card here. Okay, so let's have a look at the 4 aces. So the aces all depict young women. And so we have different seasons as well too, it looks like. So here we have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Pentacles. This is I really liked this. This is the Ace of Rods, the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. So to have this kind of young, vital, feminine energy on the aces, it works. It's a nice way to begin the suit. Okay. So the Two of Cups, I really have to think about this card. So they're behind a curtain, right? So there's a little bit of separation. There's something hidden. Um, some privacy is needed. This adds a kind of a different dimension to that card. All right. And the Three of Cups. And I'll also, we'll have a look at all of the challenging cards too. So I'll make sure we look at all the fives and the sevens. Here's the Five of Cups. Seven. Interesting 10 of Cups. So I'll make sure I show you the tens too. And let's look at the queens because they can often make or break a deck. So here is the Queen of Cups. Being quite reflective. She's not looking into the cup. She has the cup placed on her third eye. She has her feet in the water, one foot in the water. And she is under the light of the half moon. Okay. So, Two of Pentacles. The color in this one is really beautiful. I love the color in this Three of Pentacles. Okay, let's look at the five. Very traditional Five of Pentacles. Seven. So we look at the sevens. And the 10. So here's your kind of hearth, home, family culmination. So let's look at the Queen of Pentacles. So there's your Earth Mother. And she does look quite similar to the Empress. Just let me grab the Empress card. Let's have a look at her in comparison with the Empress. So definitely women of experience, women a little bit older. Two of, sorry, are we in rods here? Yes, we're in rods. So Two of Rods, the card of, you know, it's time to make a decision and to move forward. Kind of a different take on the Four of Wands. So not so much of a traditional depiction here. The five, arm wrestling at the pub or some similar place to that. 6, 7. Okay, so 7, this is also a different depiction. So there is one person confronting the defender. And I often see this card as standing higher ground. So often the person who is defending is physically higher up. So they're protecting a castle or they're standing up on a higher, you know, from a higher viewpoint. Yeah, and I was just kind of reflecting on this card, the Seven of Wands, yesterday when I was going through Line Strider with the client. And in, actually, just wait a second, I'll get the Line Strider. Okay, so sometimes we have to take higher ground to create defense so that, not just for our own protection, but also to get uh, a grander view, like a wider view, a bigger picture of the whole scene. So anyway, in the Anna K, it is positioned just on the same level as the defender. Anyway, we'll carry on with that, with this suit. So the 8 is also quite different. Have a look at this. So the 8 of Wands is usually that very fiery card of movement. And here a message is being received, a message is being delivered. And the wands are depicted as a gate. So that's quite different. Okay. And the 10. Okay, so this guy here is kind of cowering in the corner. Quite overwhelmed by all of those rods. Okay, and the queen. So here's the queen with her sunflowers. All right. So you've seen the ace. So this is the swords. So the 2 of swords, no blindfold. The swords are behind through the doorway. It almost looks as if the decision has been made. The swords are standing outside. There is a storm. This is a beautiful card. Stormy sea outside through the door. And the person is walking away from the swords, not wanting to make the decision or not wanting to pass through the door. There is an impasse. Yeah, so a slightly different take on this deck, on this card. Three of Swords. Also a slightly different take on the Three of Swords. Almost looks a bit like a Five of Swords to me. So I'll just put that to the side when we get to the 5. This is a beautiful 4 of Swords. Oh my goodness. And something that really occurred to me yesterday also too, because I was doing some serious reflection when I was doing a full moon reading and some other readings at the shop, and the swords, all of the issues with the swords, these are issues of the mind. These are stresses and problems that are, they're mental. They are may not be emotional. It just might be, truly overthinking and over intellectualizing and not real. So when I look at the 4 of Swords as a card of, it's really time to take a rest. It's time to take a break. This is the card of recovery from the 3 of Swords, right? You've been through the grief, the tragedy, the trauma of the 3 of Swords. Now it is time for a rest. But what about if we think of this more as a mental rest? So how do you take, a mental vacation? How do you, kind of check out and just kind of do what's in your heart and do what makes you feel, right? This is a card that it's really time to stop thinking, and it's time to start feeling. And there's a lot of emotion in that card, so that really kind of fits with that nicely. Okay, so here is the 5 of Swords. And so in this picture, in this interpretation, the characters are all quite close together. right? There's no separation. You know, there's no, you can't see the losers in the distance. They're right there, hovering, huddling underneath this kind of ferocious character. And there is yet another victor in the background by the fire. This is quite a horrible card. Right, so as opposed to this card. So Anna's kind of really kind of taken another interpretation here. So I look forward to, actually maybe I'll read. Let me read her take on the Five of Swords. Usually swords are the last ones in. Okay, so Five of Swords. It was the last one in the book. Is one of the few solely negative cards. None of its many meanings is positive. The Five of Swords means humiliation, wanton destruction of the whole, injuring of the innocent, violence, and vindictiveness. In short, any form of perfidy that you could imagine. By the way, this card does not say whether these are things that happen to us as a victim or whether we ourselves are the wrongdoers. Okay. So let's carry on. Okay, so 7 is quite a traditional interpretation. Something is being taken, someone is sneaking away. And I think this is one of the reasons I chose this deck, that I really wanted this deck, was for the Eight of Swords. And this really is the perfect, remember how I said, right, the swords are all about, it's illusion, it's in our mind. And this card, more than any other card, especially in the swords, just demonstrates that perfectly, that the perceived confusion is totally in the mind. It's in the mirror. It's in the subconscious. It's in, yeah, it's not real. And this is another great card. So the 10, the person who was stabbed has walked away, and the swords are only remaining in the snow. And let's find the Queen. So here's the Queen. She looks quite soft, actually. She's holding her sword quite, conservatively. Not exactly ready to cut your head off. All right. So that is the Anna K Tarot. And as I said, the cardstock is quite thick. So the deck, when you put all the cards together, is big. It's really big. All right. So shuffles really nicely, nothing sticking together. The cards are very matte, and I think it's a little big to do a riffle shuffle, but let's see. They're very, very thick. Very hard to do that. So today is the lunar eclipse, full moon of July, Guru Purnima in the yoga tradition. Very crazy energy. So if things are a little challenging for you today, if this is not the easiest weekend of your summer, be kind to yourself. To really, really Really take it easy. A lot of stuff going on with fiery Mars so close to the Earth too. Um, it's very, could just be really overwhelming, all this stuff that's going on. And remember, all of your emotions, everything is going to be amplified, especially the more challenging stuff. Yeah. I posted a video already today about working with Pendulum, and if you're interested, have a look with that. It's really got me thinking about how the pendulum works and how the energy of the cards work and how much is how interconnected all of the energy is. So when I watched back my first take of that video, it looked like I was manipulating the pendulum. But all the years of using pendulums, I've never actually noticed that my arm or my wrist or my fingers were moving. I was always focused on the pendulum. And so what my kind of aha thing this morning was how the energy of the pendulum actually transfers into the wrist and the hands and the arm. And it's, like, seriously, we're really all connected. There's no difference. I am the pendulum. The pendulum is me. And, all that stuff we hear and find so hard to believe. All right. So I'm just going to pull a couple cards here and leave you with a message. Okay. Oh, the Hermit. Didn't I say it was time? If all of this stuff that's coming up is so overwhelming that you find yourself unable to cope, unable to manage, then, turning in is not a bad thing. Turning in will only help to heal, to gain perspective, to gain higher perspective. I really like in this card how the cave is up above the town. It's sort of, you can see that the view in the distance is lower, right? So gaining higher perspective. So when I get a new deck, often what I ask the deck is, how is this deck going to work for me? What's the kind of energy of this deck? What do I need to know about this deck? What is the fundamental kind of energy? What kind of clients is this deck really going to speak to? What is its strength? What is its strength as a teacher? That kind of thing. Okay. So yeah. All right. Sorry, I thought I was going to do a reading for you, but I changed my mind. All right. Huh, that's funny. That's funny. This card is coming up a lot for me lately, Queen of Swords. So, yeah, I am divorced. I am on my own. And I did say, a couple of the cards I really like in this deck are the Swords cards. So this is going to be definitely a deck that's going to talk about communication. It's going to be a deck that's going to work well with understanding the kind of the reality of the mental chatter and the mind. I teach meditation, as many of you know. So the process of stilling the mind, the process of learning to listen to your higher self, learning to listen to messages from the divine, to receive messages, to understand signs and all that kind of stuff is a lot of it's work that I'm always doing. So it's nice to have another deck that is going to help with the mind, with communication, with all of the aspects of the element of air. So I hope you have a lovely rest of your weekend and stay well. Namaste.